Good morning, business builders, and welcome to Business for Breakfast, where business is the most important meal of the day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the VBG guy, Venti Business Guy. Our goal in this show is to make you 1% smarter today by unpacking business news over the last 24 hours, sprinkle with tips and tricks to help you mind your own business. Yeah, I know why you're here, and it's not for me. No, it's not. You're here for the morning mark. The morning mark. No props required, no drinks, no gear, just you and a functioning brain. We'll work with what we've got. Wherever you are, desk, truck, kitchen, job site, standing or sitting, it doesn't matter. Pick one thing you will finish today. Not a list, not 10, not 3, just one. Now mark it mentally and write it down. That is the line in the sand. That's the thing the day doesn't get to erase. This is the pause that sharpens the edge, the moment that turns noise into signal, the tiny act that makes business owners dangerous in a good way. That, my friends, is your morning mark. Your day is officially started now. Let me dive while you drive. Are you hearing me, people? Come on now. Can I get a woot woot? Can I get a woot woot? All right, all right, all right. Now, your favorite part of the day, which is also my favorite part of the day, is this day in history. And you guys know this show is done live every day. Today being February 2nd, Monday, February 2nd, what we call Monday's Magical Monday. So that's going to be the theme for today. And oh my word, wait until for the lesson this afternoon, the micro lesson. Blow your mind, and it's going to be insane-o magical. Just hang, you'll love it. You'll see. Now, what happened on this day in history? Okay, here we go. This day, 1893, the Black Maria completion. Thomas Edison, listen to this, he completed construction of the world's first movie studio, the Black Maria, in West Orange, New Jersey. Not West Orange County, California, in West Orange, New Jersey. Remember, guys, I guarantee, unless you're Helen Keller, meaning blind and deaf, you learn in 1% today. Guarantee. Come on now. It was here that the very first copyrighted motion picture was filmed, marking the dawn of the cinema industry. Come on, man. What else happened on this day? 1925, the Great Race of Mercy. On this day, the first sled dog teams arrived in Nome, Alaska, carrying life-saving diphtheria and antitoxin. This 674-mile journey through blizzard conditions saved the town and led to the fame of dogs like Balto and Togo. By the way, this movie is redonkulous. I can't remember the name of it, but as soon as I saw this sled dog's name, I remember the name of the movie. You got to go check it, bro, because they actually have done a movie on this, and it's really, really great. What else happened? Oh, check this. On this day, 1935, was the very first lie detector test. Leonard Keeler conducted the very first use of his polygraph machine on 2 criminals in Portage, Wisconsin. This event fundamentally changed the landscape of forensic investigation and interrogation. That's right. What else happened? Major world events. This day in 1848, Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. And I know as soon as I say that, you guys know that if you've seen Nacho Libre, then that's all you can admit of it. Like just Jack Black in this like brown friar garb, also training to be a world famous wrestler. What do they call him? Luchador. Yes. Mexican wrestlers. Genius, by the way. What else happened? 1943, on this day, the Battle of Stalingrad ends. Yes, that is right, people. The final German forces surrendered to the Soviet Red Army, marking the end of one of the bloodiest battles in human history. This was a definitive turning point of World War II, shifting the momentum in favor of the Allies. All right. How about some famous B-days? There's a couple of them. How about Farrah Fawcett? Which you guys know, if you were like me, born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s, and part in the 90s, then this lady during the 80s was on the cover of an enormous amount of magazines. And you guys know what I'm talking about? It's the Farrah Fawcett hair, bro. It's the 70s haircut. 70s and 80s, bro. Like, this gal owned the magazines. And so, like, Rebecca, I'll be like, she'll do her hair. And I'll be like, oh, my God, that's like Farrah Fawcett hair. I swear, dude, I say it all the time. I love Farrah Fawcett hair. And by the way, once you see it, you can't unsee it, bro. Like, you just can't unsee it. It's amazing. But who else has a variation of Farrah Fawcett hair? How about this cat? How about Mrs. Shake Your Rump Shakira? Ooh, the queen of Latin music. Shakira is a global superstar. I don't have to even talk about her. You guys already know. She's got a goat sounding voice. Everybody, when she was younger, said that literally go do your day job of counting pennies because you don't know how to sing. And we know she has one of the most unique voices in music, which is why she does so well. Because we know that those that sing really well, right, are on theater, right? They're in theater. And those that entertain well are superstars. Are you tracking? Are you tracking? It's not the best voice. It's the one that's most determined with some skill, right? Come on now. Woo! What I always say, what is success? It's two parts. It's a very simple formula. It's 25% planning and 75% execution, and do whatever the hell you want to do, bro. This place is just a canvas. Paint away, man. I'm just your like throwy Bob Ross right now, like a little tree here, a little mountain here, right? Come on now. Come on. Am I Bob Rossing you guys? What else is going on today? Okay, this day in history, 1913, Grand Central Terminal opens up. Well, not a tragedy. The opening of the world's largest train station in New York City was a monumental engineering feat. I don't know why it started with, well, not a tragedy. Okay. But I guess it's because so many times, like whenever it's like space news, there's always like something blowing up. But what else is going on? Okay. One of the greatest movies of all time, Groundhog's Day, right? Puxahani Phil, right? With Bill Murray. Oh my God. One of the greatest all-time flicks ever. Today, people, is Groundhog's Day. Are we going to see Puxahani Phil? Are we going to see that dude? I don't know, man. What else? What else is today? Oh, today is National Heavenly Hash Day. Ooh, for those with sweet tooth, today celebrates the classic confection involving chocolate, marshmallows, and nuts. Interesting. I was thinking it was the other hash day, which, correction, that's April 20th. Come on now. It's early, but it ain't that early. You know what I'm talking about. What else is going on today? Oh, it's time for some juicy news. But before we do that, here's a quick little disclaimer. While we talk a lot about business growth and economy here on Business for Breakfast, please remember, I do not hold any securities licenses. This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute financial recommendations. I'm here to help you run your biz like a Fortune CEO, not to manage your portfolio. Are you tracking me? And are you ready for some juicy news? Are you ready for some juicy news? Juicy news? Juicy news. Come on now. Now, I want to first start off with some crazy gratitude for you. You know, I've started the show a couple weeks ago, and I've been a big, long-time fan and follower of Scott Adams. And about a week before he passed away, I felt in my spirit to go ahead and kind of get the green light to start the show. And I just want you guys to know this channel is growing like crazy. I don't know. It was like, even though I'm just a couple weeks old, there was shares like last week. I picked up so many new subscribers. Thank you. That means the world to me. I do this show for you. I do the show for us. I kind of figure I'm a big believer in eating my own home cooking. So if I think it's delicious, I want to tell everybody else and think it's delicious. And so I just want to thank you, business builders, for really giving voice to the voiceless, which is, in my opinion, some of the greatest people on planet Earth, mom and pop venti shops, right? So we jump into some of our juicy news. I think we shall. Good. What's going on today in the news? Some big stuff, people. Big stuff. Here it is. The SBA's SBIC reforms go into effect today. Today is when it goes into effect. Starting today, February 2nd, 2026, the SBA has officially modernized the Small Business Investment Company Program. Remember, we talk about this, the SBIC. We've been talking about this the last couple of weeks, talking about the deadline. It is here today. The new rules tape and incentivize private capital to flow specifically into American manufacturing, food production, and critical supply chain startups. Okay, so why is this important for us? Because it's just not for big tech, right? Local, small, mom and pop manufacturers and food processors now have streamlined access to what we basically consider like long-term capital, right? It's what you've got to basically wait. It's the patient capital, right? But before that was always tied up behind a lot of paperwork. So typically, you guys remember this, who got all the PPP loans and ERC in the early days? Companies that were big enough to have people that were team members when you say, hey, for the next 2 weeks, your job's to figure this out and you get this submitted for us. Yeah. How the heck does that help a mom and pop venti shop? It doesn't, because we have to spend all 7 plates of business, right? And that's just one of those plates, right? That's why it's very, very difficult for us to do that. But what else is going on in the news? This is actually pretty big, man. So saw this on X, and Liz Ann Saunders, she's a great follow. Imports of consumer goods bounced back a bit in November, but year-over-year change remained deeply negative at negative 13.1%. And I think, I think you guys know that I talk about this a lot, but this is based off the laws of supply and demand, right? So in consumer, so I want you to understand that 2 things can be true at the same time. Like, we are optimistic, but we are also very nervous. And so, like, as let's say I'm racing, I'm in a NASCAR race, and I believe just from watching it, watching Talladega Nights a bunch of times, I think they turn left. Okay, so you're turning left, and let's say you're winning the race. So you're optimistic about your place in the race. Like, this is your trade, right? Plate 1, and you're optimistic about it. So I'm actually in first or second place. I'm doing really well. I'm optimistic about my trade and what I'm doing. But here's the thing. They also told you before the race started that sometime during this race, they're also going to throw a washing machine on the track, right? But you don't know when it's coming. Okay, so you can see how both things can be true at the same time. You can be optimistic about where you're at in business and customers are coming in, but also very cautious about where you think things are heading, which is why consumer spending is down. Remember, when we're cautious about the trending markets, we tend to save, and we save for a rainy day, right? But we're also optimistic about our business, our trade. So we're cautiously optimistic, right? And so it makes sense why year over year we're down, okay? Because even though we feel good about where we're at, we still need to be putting money aside. And by the way, this is actually really, really important for you guys, because one of the things that we do for our accounting clients, we're like the only accounting firm on the planet that it's really 2-part. It's accounting plus accountability. So as soon as you come on as a client, we build you a custom cash flow plan utilizing the Mike Michaelwood's Profit First system. We've been doing this since 1968. And we used to have 10 big buckets. Now we sweep into the big 4. Thank you, Mike. Absolutely brilliant book. I can't recommend it enough. But there's a lot of times you guys are thinking about starting a business. You guys need help. You've got goals for this year. You like don't want another year to go by, and you want to be part of a peer advisory group. You know, you have questions about accounting, bookkeeping. How does the new OBBBA laws apply into taxes for this year? You want to strategize, all this different stuff. You can reach out to us, and we always have 2 ways to hit us up. Okay. Number 1, you can reach us by businessforbreakfastradio.com. Submit a question. I'll reply back or read it on air, or you can schedule time for us to talk directly at my own personal scheduling website, speakwithaaron.com. That's speakwithaaron.com. That's aaron.com. Okay. You can schedule anything you want to talk about with me. Can't wait. Love it. Okay. What else is going on in the news today? Okay. Here we go. Global shipping surge, the 10% warning. So here's the story. Industry reports released today indicate that shipping and logistics costs are projected to rise by over 10% in 2026 due to persistent geopolitical tensions. Procurement experts are seeing cracks in the global trading system that are driving up the price of electronics and electrical machinery. Right. Okay. Why is this important to us mom and pop venti shops? Because independent retailers must start auditing their spring and summer inventory orders immediately. Okay, so if you rely on imported goods, you need to be expecting your wholesale price to hike. Okay, so consider what we consider like onshoring or nearshoring, right? Source from intra nation or close, or you're going to have to stop shopping shopping at nations where the tariffs might be a little lower, right? So this is a biggie. A lot of this has to do obviously with with tariffs and the tensions regarding that. But you guys need to be ahead of this. And our job here on the show is that way. You guys, we compress all the business news, and we want to, give you this daily download with none of the clickbait drama or propaganda that you see when you're following legacy media, right? We track that, right? What else is happening in the news today, my people? Oh, we already talked about this. But nope, I'm not going to bring it up, even though it was fantastic. Nope, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to do it, people. Oh, this was a quote that I saw in Forbes the other day. And it said, I am very aware as a creative person that those who control the means of production control the creative vision. And you know who this reminded me of? I have to go back a few years to the greatest designer that we have seen in our generation, a gentleman named Johnny Ives. So you guys understand that creative individuals have one person on the team, okay, who is in charge of the design of the product, okay? And so it's a very, very small group of people, but these individuals are so dialed in to the person that when this person says, that just feels weird, right? Or Rick Rubin, when something is almost right? So to him, when things are like spot on, it's like fiery red and he feels it. But if it's like almost red, he calls it orange. Like it's like, I don't know, man, like it just feels orange, right? And so Steve Jobs had Johnny Ives. And so Steve would say, I've got this crazy idea for like a music thing, but like it's like this dial, like kind of a touchpad thing, right? And like he was kind of scrolling the center button. I don't really know, but Johnny knew how to take what's in his head and make it reality. You have somebody on your team who is creative, who just naturally is like Zoolander, like remember that scene where the reporter, his wife, shows up to the door and he's like, your hair, and he's like, and her hair was like freaking perfect. Some of you have people that are like that on your team, or that are close to you. Remember, every human being on planet Earth, no matter where you're from, no matter where you live, everybody wants to feel loved, needed, appreciated, and valued, right? The best way for people to feel loved is put them to work in something they have a natural gift or talent for. Holla, this is not rocket science, right? Some of you guys need to be told this, but for some reason, right? So just understand that, let me reset this. 7. Okay, I've got a big timer right here, right? So make sure that you guys have your Johnny Ives. You guys know that Johnny Ives, his role was so important at Apple when Steve was alive. Johnny Ives had lunch with Steve Jobs every single day. Every day they had lunch. And in the very beginning, he was actually one of the executives. But when you're publicly traded, you have to publicly post what you pay that person. And because they wanted that to be totally top secret with no one knowing, they removed Johnny as an executive from Apple. So no one would actually know his compensation. Right. Crazy, right? Does that just freaking tell you how insane valuable this dude was? Where they literally created in Apple their own MI6 and put this dude as like the OG founding member. Yes, bro. That was Johnny Ives. That is the reason why this quote is so freaking important. I am very aware this. And by the way, you want to know who said this? Let me do the quote again. As I'm saying it, be thinking about probably the most creative person that you know of today. And when I say the name, you'll be like, duh. Okay, ready? Here's what he said. I'm very aware as a creative person that those who control the means of production control the creative vision. Who is it? George Lucas. Yep. Star Wars. Yeah. He knows a thing or two about creative. I'm just assuming. Okay. I'm just assuming. What else is going on in the news? Okay. Look, we talk about this almost every day, but the reason why is because it's very, 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 very important for you as a mom and pop Venti shop to hear me. You have been ignoring your website and Google profile page long enough, and Google is about to start. And you're starting to see it a couple weeks ago. If you've been ignoring your Google profile page, Google's about to start slapping you, and you're not going to be showing up. Here's the story. Google's latest local search refinement now prioritizes location-specific depth over pure distance. Okay. Businesses with detailed neighborhood-specific content like blog posts about local events or area guides are outranking closer competition who have generic profiles. And literally, as we're talking, I'm going to literally copy this. You guys know I do this stuff live as I think about it. I have to do it with you. Let me go down to my team notes because I'm literally talking to Janice today. Let me find my gal. And how I find everything is the person's name plus a pound sign. Let me paste it, slap it, and tap it. We're done. Let's get back to our news. You know, with an AD brain, you got about 15 seconds to file index that, or you'll never retrieve it again. Are we on the same page? Can I get a woot woot? Alrighty then. What else is happening? What's happening in the news? CNBC is reporting. As American retail store anchors fade, private clubs are taking over more commercial real estate. Yes, please. Yes, please. And yes, please. Look, I am a fan, and I think I've told you guys this before. I've been really, really lucky to make really, really great money early in my 20s and got all that stuff out of my system. And the thing you realize is the more stuff you own, the more the stuff owns you. And so, I absolutely love being free of all that stuff, because when you're free of all that stuff, you actually can experience true freedom, right? Like it used to be back in the day, my part-time job was maintaining all my stuff because something was always breaking. I had to fix it, replace it, update it, upgrade it, whatever it was. There was something always going on with everything that I owned. I'm like, man, I can't deal with it anymore. And that's why I've said before, I am waiting for the day. Hear me now. If we all know 7 degrees from Kevin Bacon, okay? So I know I'm 7 degrees from Bezos and Musk. My boys, listen to me. Listen, Linda. If you guys ever watch Bob's Burgers and you have millennial kids, you know what I'm talking about. Listen, Linda. Please start buying malls and turning them into literally 1-minute cities. Please, please. You know that all the retail is there, including the freaking movie theater. It already has the built-in movie theater. It does. Now, can you even fathom? Now, mind you, I'm a little older. You guys know I'm 50. Like, I'm 50. Come on now. I'm 50. So here's what I want. Walking paths, and I want everything walking distance. I want to leave in the morning. I'm like, babes, you chill, do your meds, your meditations. I'm going to basically go walk and grab us some coffee. You cool? Honey latte, me and you? All right, girlfriend, be back in about 20. Okay, cool. And I walk, right? Or get my little scooter. I'm zoo, 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 zoo. I'm just zipping around my little freaking scooter and everything. Bro, like just daily trash, like, or like not even daily, like twice a week, trash just comes by, put it by your front door. Oh my God. It's like little, like Central Parks or like Friends, like Central Perks, like these little like treat areas. The mall is made for this, bro. And by the way, we already know because all these big companies anyway start getting into industries and they won't become the big player. They'll just become big players in it. This just makes sense, bro. Not that they need to do it because they have so many freaking employees. So, you know, like SpaceX now has a brand new city called Starbase, right, in Texas. That's what we need, but they need to be malls. Man, I'm telling you, this is going to be huge. This needs to happen, please. What else is going on in the news? The news. Did you guys, when is this thing supposed to happen? Oh, this is happening in June. So scientists predict that around June 25th of this year, this usually invisible star system is going to appear. Okay. And what's it called? It's officially known as T Coronae Borealis. T, capital C, lowercase r, capital B. T, CRB. It's TCBY. It's basically TCBY without the yogurt, okay? And so, but this bad boy is going to be, and supposedly, this is a once in a generation. Listen to me. That's all. This is like literally Halley's Comet type of thing, okay? Actually, that's like 2 or 3 times a generation. This is once a generation. And you're going to be able to see this thing. It's called a Blaze Star, officially known as basically TCBY without the Y. Okay. And it says a star could suddenly explode in 150 days. And here's where to look, right? If this thing does, a Blaze Star, we should be able to see it around June. This thing popped up in the news like, man, this is pretty cool, bro. I'm anticipating the closer we get to it, we're going to be ready to roll, man. What else is happening? Psh, we talk about it and it's hit, bro. Here's the title. Minimum wage hikes hit 20 plus states. This is big. This is big. This is big. This is big. And the reason why it's so big is because, look, you guys know that this is what we do. Rebecca and I were able to buy our accounting firm from the last surviving owner. He founded the firm in 1968. One of the few firms actually not started by accountants, but actually small business owners. Our heartbeat is your heartbeat and vice versa. It's like Finkel is Einhorn, Einhorn is Finkel. Okay. And so you know that we're like the only accounting firm that is 2-part. The first part is accounting, which everybody else does, and then plus accountability. Okay. So we know that all of our mom and pop Venti shop owners have to spin all 7 plates of business. Okay. Plate 1 is the trade. Plate 2 is the accounting plate. But who knows how to spin this, man? Who knows how to spin this, right? Plate number 3, sales and marketing. Number 4 is HR, the HR plate. Payroll. Who knows how to spin this plate? It's difficult. People tell you got delicious food and you need to open a restaurant. Who tells you how to do the advertising? Who tells you how to do your payroll? Is it 1099 or W-2? How do I do the taxes on these people? This minimum wage thing, how does that affect my business? How do I need to price adjust my product to compensate for the higher minimum wage increases? We got you. We got you. 2 ways to get to us at all times: businessforbreakfastradio.com. You'll be able to hit us up easily, cheesily, do a question, we'll reply back to you, or I'll read it on air, or speak with me directly at my personal scheduling website, speakwithaaron.com. That's speakwithaaron.com. That's aaron.com. Come on now. Okay. You have questions about any of this stuff, peer advisory groups, they're free to everybody. You don't have to be one of our customers either. It's a group of 6 to 8 peers just like you, and you bring your goals. We actually start our February peer advisory group up here in a couple days, this Thursday, and we'll do the very first one, and we open them up every month to you guys. So if you have questions about that, I'm interested, businessforbreakfastradio.com, or schedule us a time at speakwithaaron.com. What else is going on in the news? Well, we just talked about minimum wage hikes for 20 plus states, but what else? New York's Retail Worker Safety Act implementation. Here's the story. A major new mandate now requires retail employers with 10 or more employees to adopt formal written workplace violence prevention policies and provide interactive training. This is a freaking joke. God almighty. These cities are we ready? They need a freaking scarlet letter M for moron. Moron. How in the world do they do that? How? How can these states be so flipping stupid? I don't get it, bro. I don't understand. Okay. These, for some reason, these left-leaning, and by the way, you know that I've been independent since the mid-2000s. This has nothing to do with picking sides, okay? I'm just talking about the laws of primal existence, right? Pain, pleasure, pattern recognition, right? So things that we enjoy, that are pleasurable, we build patterns around. Things that are painful, we build patterns around. I mean, this is just like human existence, right? This is not even complicated, okay? So when you actually are trying to screw the little guy, you do stupid stuff like this because you know that per capita, you're doing this. This is a classic example of the king living in the castle on the hill and never, ever goes down the hill and hangs out with the peasants in the village. That's what you're seeing right here. That's what this is. It makes no sense because you wouldn't do that. If you cared, then you would put a minimum of, let's say, 20 or 25 employees before you have to start doing it. No, this is aimed squarely at the businesses that are decent size, that have some revenue, and they put this burden squarely on them. In business with less than 10 employees, I want you to hear me. The owner is spinning all 7 plates. This burden was placed directly on the back of the mom and pop Venti shop, directly on the back of that owner, right? Not okay, man. Not okay. What else is going on in the news? Entrepreneurs reporting that the ICWMI, which, what is that? Everything's like, I don't know, TCBY. What is this? What's the NCAA, whatever this is? I'm looking right now for you guys. You're welcome, because I know you're asking. Okay. Data Report Information and Visualization Exchange Conference. The Dive Conference. So this is a dive. I don't know where they came up with CDI, whatever, but it's called the Dive Conference, okay? At the University of Washington. So let's see. And this person went to this conference years ago, but here's the thing that they learned from that conference, okay? And that is, the best communities are made of diverse, like-minded talent brought together through a careful curation and alternative refinement. Yes, yes, yes. Let me explain to you what they're talking about. And I'm gonna quote Bill Maher, because I think the dude is pretty logical and smart. And again, it's not because I agree every time with him, but it's because I do think that he does have some points on certain things. Okay, and this was him. So this was Bill Maher talking specifically about. He identifies as a classic Democrat. And again, the show is not left or right. I'm trying to explain something to you because this is talking about merit-based talent, okay? And as mom and pop Venti shops, this is the most important thing to us. The most important plate is the HR plate. If you don't spend that right, those team members will quite literally bankrupt you. And this is what Bill stated. He said, as a classic Democrat, liberalism used to mean under no circumstance do you see race and color. It's what JFK stood for. It's what Martin Luther King stood for. Okay. Classic Democrats of the 60s, like JFK and Martin Luther King, emphasized a vision of liberalism where race and color were not seen as primary factors in judgment or treatment. Their ideology was focused on equality and judging individuals by their character rather than their race. That is what this is talking about. Okay. The best communities are made up of, right, diverse group of individuals, right? Meaning at your table of talent, everybody around the table is better at you than at what their gifting is. They're better than you, okay? But don't forget, they're better than you. But together, you guys are all trying to accomplish the same mission. You have the same vision. Are you tracking? That's what this is talking about. For the love of Mary, if everybody around you is a bunch of yes sirs and yes ma'ams, you're screwed. It's not if, it's when you're out of business, right? Trust me, you need a lot of strong personalities around you. You might not like it because that's your ego, but I need you to hear me. Strong personalities change the world. They're the ones that speak up. They're the ones that say, yeah, I don't think so. How about this? And if you guys adopt best idea wins philosophy, you win. It's not my idea or your idea, but the best idea that wins, right? Okay. Can I get a woot woot? Can I get a woot woot? All right. What else is going on in the news today? FTC targets negative option subscription trap. Yes. So here's the story. FTC has submitted a draft rule specifically targeting pre-notification negative option plans. This aims to make it easy for customers to cancel a subscription as it was to sign up. Yes. I swear, bro. You know that this is such a huge pain in my rear that literally when I sign up for something, I will go literally and screenshot the T's and C's just because I'm like, I know they're all going to make me I have to basically, like just the other day, I needed to cancel my Vivint subscription. And by the way, love the company as an alarm company, but we moved the office and that office basically has its own system. So we didn't need it. You understood that, first of all, I had to call in 3 different times because the first 2 times the system hung up on me. Right. The first time as I was being transferred to that department, the second time I was halfway through cancellation and somehow the system, while I was talking to the cancellation department, hung up on me. The third time got all the way through, but 5 times. She tried 5 times to save me and to get me to switch to a different option. Again, I love them. So it wasn't like I was upset. I'm just telling you, these companies make you jump through hoops. I think it's hysterical because in my opinion, it's the same thing when you make somebody sign a non-compete. It's crap, dude. Either your product can stand on its own 2 feet or it can't. And if you have to hide behind a bunch of BS cancellation, you need to start evaluating your product or service, man. You got to be working on it. I always quote True Kathy, bro. Back in the day when Chick-fil-A was trying to compete with Boston Market, who at the time was their number one competitor, it used to be called Boston Chicken. And all the board members are sitting around the table and it's like, man, we've got to compete, more locations. And Truett's just zoning out, looking out. And after a while, man, he just comes back and everybody shuts up, because when Truett starts to say, he didn't say much, but when he does, everybody shuts up. He does this. He looks around everybody. He does this. I am sick and tired of us talking about getting bigger. If we focus on getting better, our customers will demand we get bigger. If we focus on getting better, our customers will demand that we get bigger. Did you hear me? Focus on getting better. Stop this revenue crap. Stop it. Stop it today. Focus on getting better. Revolutionize one of the parts of your business. Matter of fact, you're going to need help with this. Call us. We'll put you in a peer advisory group. It's free to you. You don't have to be one of our clients to join. We open it up to everybody. We know that you're stuck. Our peer advisory groups, bro, they're like 12-week sessions. When you start, you'll get more done in 12 weeks than you have the last 2 years. Hit us up with Business for Breakfast Radio. Let me know, submit a question, or speak with Aaron.com, speak with aaron.com. You can get directly to me. Okay. But no, trust me. This is a big deal. And I'm glad the FTC is actually looking after the little guy, because this is the crap. It's always us. It's always us. We pay the highest fees and late fees of anybody, because as soon as we do this service, we want to be able to do something with it. They make us sign up for a 2-week free subscription. And somewhere, not even in the confirmation email we get, somewhere on that page that we signed up for the free 2-week trial is the TNCs that we never grab. And I'm glad they're finally making this easy, because it wasn't. It's a huge pain in the rear, and it affects us more. Because remember, the more money you have, the more resources you have, right? And when you have more money, you have somebody that literally is your assistant, and you basically say, hey, this month, you guys know it's that time. We need to go through all our subscriptions. We need to cancel them all. You have little people in your life, you can just do that. You just open your mouth and like, rah, 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 and things just happen. Yeah, money equals resources. Yeah, it's true. It's not fair, but it's freaking true. Okay. What else? You know what? I saw this in Men's Health. Okay. And I thought it was powerful. And it says this 4-week plan will help you drink less alcohol. And I'll tell you, man, I'll tell you that I've been sober. Actually, my sober date, I keep it on my phone right now. It was a Thursday night Dallas Cowboy game. Yes, I blacked out before the game started. Let's see here. Sober date. It's on my phone. It was I think it was like November 22nd or something. 2010. 11/25. So November 25th, 2010. Okay. That was a Thursday night Cowboy game. Who knows, man? Maybe that was the Thursday night Thanksgiving game. I'd have to go look at it. But 2010. So I'm 15 years sober. And I have to tell you, man, without question, the most important thing that I probably ever gave up to impact what I always call like the Bezos regret minimization rule. Okay. The regret minimization, I think, yeah, RMR or something like that. But basically talks about by age 80, you want to be able to look back and have the least amount of regret. Okay. I'm telling you right now, bro, every single thing I did in my entire life up till I went to sober had something to do with alcohol, 100%. And so, you know, I'm just beyond grateful that I've been able to stay away from it all these years. And, but I still have those tendencies, man. I do, man. So if you know anything about that, following the AA groups, it's like, hey, yo, my name's AA Ron. I'm an alcoholic, right? I know it's been 15 years, bro, but the tendencies are still there. I got to be on guard, man. Got to be on guard. What else is going on in the news? Oh, you know what? We're talking about the 4-week plan, Men's Health. Let's just talk about what the 4-week guide. Let's just talk about it real quick. Let's see. Of course, I swear they put this behind a freaking guide every time. Okay, fine. You're gonna play that garbage? Gemini's gonna crack you, bro. She's gonna crack you, bro. Right in half, gonna crack you. Okay. Here it is. Watch this. Please, come on, Gem. Please, you're always gonna be polite to your AI. Please research this copy title. Okay. the experts, not our experts, the experts. Okay, here we go. Let's see what it says. Here is the 4-week guide. The science. Okay, the plan is based on neurobiology and behavioral psychology principles used by programs like Reframe, the CDC, and NHS. So alcohol alters two primary neurotransmitters. Okay, one is GABA, that's the brakes, and the other one is glutamate, the accelerator. Regular drinking causes your brain to produce less GABA and more glutamate, which obviously makes sense. The more, which of these two you feed is going to be the beast that grows, right? And so, just remember, GABA, think of it like your 20-year-old frat boy sorority sister who's like, you got this. Like, just imagine like old school Will Smith streaking down the street. Just imagine that. I know, by the way, when you see it, you cannot see it. Okay. I see the dude right now. Just imagine that's GABA. Okay. And then like glutamate is like, that's the accelerator, right? So that's like the, no, you got this. It's okay. Be cool. One's like the stop. The glutamate's like, actually it's a reverse because GABA is like stop and glutamate is go. So glutamate would be the Will Ferrell old school version. And then GABA's like the, no, stop, no. Like that Bill Burr. If you saw that comedy sketch, bro, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. But here's week one. The idea is the neurochemical reset. Okay, here's the goal. Break the daily habit and manage the rebound effect. What to do? Audit your baseline. For the first 3 days, don't change anything, but track every drink, the time, and your mood. Just document it. Document. It's the same thing when you're about to start a program. A good physical trainer, first thing they do is they say, look, don't change anything. Just start documenting your diet. Whatever you eat, whatever goes in your mouth, just document it, right? Then schedule dry days. Aim for 3 to 4 consecutive non-drinking days. Manage your triggers. Identify whatever your itch is. Okay. If you usually drink while cooking, swap the wine for a high quality sparkling water or a mocktail to satisfy the ritual without the alcohol, right? What you're going to start feeling, you're going to start experiencing that mild irritability, and you're also going to start having your REM rebounds, vivid dreams, as your brain tries to catch up on all the lost sleep, deep sleep that you're missing. Week 2, sleep architecture and cognitive clarity. We're going to optimize physical recovery and notice the sober glow. This is the goal. Week 2, what to do? The 2-drink rule. If you do drink, cap it at 2 standard drinks. I swear, like my sister, she's like, I just had 1 drink. And she had like a vodka and like Propel or something, or vodka and like one of those drinks or whatever. But she does like a freaking like Sonic Route 44 Yeti cup. I had like 2 drinks. That's it. Like 2 drinks. Okay. You're like, for the love of Mary. We know there's a difference between a glass of wine and a bottle of wine. But based on the cup size, I've seen cups that hold entire bottles of wine. Like, I've just had like 2 glasses of wine. That's it. Okay. Housewives of BH, chill the H out, please. Okay. Hydration. Drink 8 ounces of water before every drink. Social scripting. Practice your no for social settings. Use I'm on a health kick or I'm training for something to avoid that. Yes. Do something like that. Right. Always have something, but don't make whatever you say make you sound like a bougie little bee. Okay, just don't do it, right? Because there's a right way and a wrong way to say everything, and just don't say the way that elevates you above everybody. Like, I'm like doing this no alcohol thing. Like, you should try it. Like, I just feel like amazing. And by the way, you're slurring your speech. Like, don't be the douche, okay? Because I will mail you a scarlet letter and for moron. Just don't do it. Week 3. Metabolic and mood stabilization, address emotional triggers and time filling. What to do? Find dopamine alternatives. Check the scale and your wallet. Here's his win. You're going to notice it, bro. What you'll feel: lowered resting heart rate and more stable moods as your cortisol levels start to normalize. Come on now. What? Week 4, habit hardening and future planning. This is the transition. This is where you're starting to dig a really deep behavior canyon, right? You dug a deep canyon, man. It's a Grand Canyon size of the drinking. But now you've got this little dig in the dirt. It's starting to get deeper and deeper and deeper. You're starting to dig. Actually, now this behavior canyon's got some water running through it. It do, right? But keep digging it. Remember, routine is the key. Consistency will set you free. Routine is the key. Consistency sets you free. Routine is the key. Consistency sets you free. The goal here is to transition from it's a challenge to I now have a sustainable lifestyle of what I do when I do, right? Set your personal rules, right? You've got a 30-day check-in. Reflect on the past month, which was better, the feeling of the drink, the feeling of the morning after without one. And then look, join support groups. There's really cool apps like Try Dry, or Reframe to stay accountable during those weeks, right? Here's what you're gonna feel, man. You're gonna finally have the feeling of self efficacy, right? Taking care of yourself, the psychological confidence that you're in control of the substance rather than it being in control of you, right? But here's some tips, brah. Do not rely on willpower. Don't do it. Okay, I'm telling you right now. Trying to do that is like the little dude on top of the elephant with a little whip, and he's like, yaka, yaka. And the elephant's like, idiot. I actually had a fly on me, and I needed you to hit me in that area anyway because I had a little scratch, right? Also, standardize your drink. For me, like mine was soda water with lime, right? Like if I was out anywhere, that's what it was. Okay. And now if I'm out, like Heineken Zero is typically my go-to wherever I'm at. Pool parties or whatever, usually Heineken Zero. Medical safety, if you're a heavy daily drinker, you've got to consult the doctor. I know of 2 individuals, one that actually died, who stopped and then drank before they went to rehab, died, and then one almost did. And so be very, very careful with this stuff because your body will shut down if you like stop cold turkey. Or if you stop and then you start back up, your body will throw tantrums. It will, man. It will. So is this kind of making sense to you guys? You guys kind of digging this? Okay, cool. I wanted to kind of share real quick with you guys a quick little lesson before we jump off here. And here's the dealio. This was actually a YouTube video that I saw, I don't know, last week sometime. And man, it was amazing. And it was a interview with Dick Van Dyke. The dude is 100 years old. So here is the title: How to Live to 100 and Be Super Happy, a roadmap from Dick Van Dyke. All right, now don't go anywhere, Justin. I'll be right back. If anybody jumps on, shoot a quick little message in there that I had to go do a quick little errand. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. Now, when I was watching this Dick Van Dyke video, I was really blown away because what I saw, and I wasn't the only one. I actually had Rebecca watch it and be like, "Tell me what you think after you see this," right? And so I'm not kidding, man. In this video, okay, so just imagine living to like be 100 years old. You still feel fantastic, no pains, no aches. You got a giant smile on your face. This is exactly how this dude feels. Okay. And if you don't know, he's a famous actor who played Bert in Mary Poppins. And it was in a recent talk about his life, he shared the secrets to staying young at heart. Who is Dick Van Dyke? Legendary American actor, comedian, singer, dancer whose career spanned over 7 decades. Born in 1925, he became a household name starring as Rob Petrie in the 1960 sitcom The Dick Van Dyke Show. He is equally iconic for his film roles, notably as the chimney sweep Bert in Mary Poppins and the eccentric inventor in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. A rare triple threat, he has won multiple Emmys, Tonys, and Grammys. He was one Oscar award from having the famous EGOT, which if you ever saw 30 Rock and Tracy Morgan, that skit of him trying to get the EGOT is some of the most greatest television writing in history. But when I watched this, there was really a few things that I got from this, talking about almost like the blueprint for a happy life. And I'm telling you, man, every single person that you see who laughs and they're like their operating system is just that of like joy and kindness and gratitude. Like they just live 20 years longer than they should. Like I just feel like that keeping your mindset there just keeps you young. Like find me one person who's just this happy-go-lucky, like just type of person who didn't live beyond the years that they should have lived. I'm not saying they live to 100, but somebody like that, right? But there was a few takeaways from this that I thought were really important. One, and it's audit your energy. And there's a concept called the unfinished room theory. Okay. And it's this concept or metaphor for how people enter your life and impact your mental and emotional well-being. So unlike the productivity version of the theory, this version focuses on the real estate you give to others within your personal life. So everybody that comes into your life basically is able to basically live with you in a room in your house. This is your spiritual mental house. Okay, so here's the breakdown. Number one, the house as your life. So the theory views your life, think of this, your peace of mind, trust, your heart, all of that as a house. Every person you allow into your life builds a room there because it's your house. You're the one who has to live with the construction, the decor, or the mess they leave behind. I know this is speaking to somebody, man. I know it is. Okay. Another part of the unfinished room theory is the 3 types of room builders. Right? So these are the 3 types of people that you allow to basically live in a room in your house. One of those people, they're the decorators. These are the healthy relationships. They come in, they decorate, meaning they treat you with respect, they add value, make your inner world a more beautiful place. They're like the Airbnb guest. You come in, perfect, not the horror story, but like the way most of us are, where we come in and we treat the room like we're guests, and we actually leave it in better condition than when we found it, and more often than not, right? So our operating system for decorators is gratitude, kindness, respect, right? The other type of person is the rearranger. These are the people who disrupt your peace. They come and mess things up, causing stress or taking away from your stability. Trust me, we all got the rearrangers, right? You come in, everything in your kitchen's been rearranged, all your spices rearranged. I thought your silverware should be better over here. You freaking move where my knives go. You move where my knives go. Like, are you serial right now? Okay, right. And the third person, and they are the worst, the mid-renovation leavers. Yeah, this is the unfinished part of the theory. These are temporary people who start building a space in your life and then disappear out of the blue. They leave you with an unfinished, messy room that you now have to deal with alone. Yes, it's true. You know who I'm talking about. So here's the third point from this unfinished room theory. The takeaway. You've got to have a gatekeeper at the front door of your house. You've got to have boundaries, man. You guys know in the Bible it talks about if you get rid of one, he's bringing back 7 of his friends. Okay, right? So here's the core lesson of the unfinished room theory. You've got to have discernment on the people you allow in your life, right? Since you're the one who has to live in the house, you have to be careful about who you grant building permits to. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Amen. If you let too many people in who leave rooms unfinished or rearranged, your internal life becomes cluttered and stressful. It suggests that protecting your peace of mind starts with being more selective about who to allow to start building a room in the first place. Yes, yes, and more yes. I know I'm speaking to somebody today. I know I am. All right. But what else? Another takeaway from the Dick Van Dyke video, the no hate policy. Okay. So a very, very great book right across my bookshelf called The Greatest Salesman in the World. I'll point to it. Are you ready? Right underneath Psycho-Cybernetics. So he talks in there specifically this no hate policy idea. And there's one little phrase that they say in there that I memorized and have used probably for 20 years. I don't know when I read it, 20, 25 years ago, something. To each whom I confront, I will approach in only one way. To myself and in secret, I will say, I love you. To each whom I confront, I will approach in only one way. To myself and in secret, I will say, I love you. Yeah, man. I'm telling you right now, it changes how you interact with people. Because you say it to people you don't even like. And guess what happens? You start having, I know it's crazy, empathy. What? Sympathy. What? Right? Come on, man. I know I'm speaking to somebody, right? And the third little lesson I took from the Dick Van Dyke Living to Age 100 Happiness Blueprint is staying moving. If you saw this dude, the only reason he was not dancing with his 40-year-old wife, she's actually, I think, older than that now, but I mean, she's way younger than him, is because he was doing the interview. I'm just telling you right now, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it, right? I spent the first half of my life focusing on my outside muscles. And I kind of figured out probably should spend the next half focusing on my internal muscles, right? Brain and my heart. So make sure you guys are using it. Every day I exercise, man. Do your air squats, do your plyometrics, do your push-ups, do your air squats, do your sit-ups, do the basic stuff, man. But you've got to be using the body, okay? All right? Are you guys tracking? I know I'm speaking to somebody. Are you guys ready for the Scott Adams How to Reframe Your Brain lesson for the day? I know you are. Well, let's just see. Where are we at right now? So we did on Friday, remember today is Monday. Friday we did from chapter 4, Social Life Reframes. So let's go chapter 5 this time, which is physical health. Oh my God, physical health reframes, exactly what we're talking about. Here we go. You know what? I'm really excited about this. Diet and weight management, okay? Words matter even when you're talking to yourself. Every word is like a package of programming code that alters your brain circuitry. But some words are weak and some have more energy. Here's a perfect example. The normal frame that we have, when I'm hungry, I eat food. But here's the reframe he has in the book. Some food is fuel, some food is entertainment. So let me give you a, I don't know, kind of maybe a different perspective. So I've been I eat the same food. I'm very routine. You guys know I'm super OCD about things. And so I eat the same thing every day. And so my mindset every day, especially during the day when I'm like, the same thing, right? But I remind myself during the day, I eat to live. And at night, I live to eat. During the day, I eat to live. And in the evening, I live to eat. So I eat within a 4-hour window from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And so, but that reframe does me really well. We're during the day and I'm like, I'm having this again. And it's like, yeah, but during the day, I eat to live. But this evening at 4 p.m., I get to live to eat, right? These are reframes, bro. It doesn't make sense how they work, why they work, but you just know that they work, okay? And that's like the kicker, man, making sure that the thing actually works. And so do what works for you. That's the key about a reframe. If you ever saw the movie, it's Wizard of Oz. No, It's Wonderful Life. That's my favorite movie. Wizard of Oz. You remember they're at the door into the castle, right? And it's a huge, huge door. And it's got that little square and that little, like, the little, what do they call them? What do they call them on Wizard of Oz? You know what I'm talking about. Okay. The Munchkins, Munchkin Land. Okay. Munchkins. And so that dude's like, dong, dong. And he's like, yes, how can I help you? And you're like, blah, blah. A reframe, when you speak a reframe, its purpose is to unlock the door and allow that into the subconscious. The door to the subconscious is a very, very, very thick door. Okay. So it doesn't make sense how it works or why they work. But when they work, that door unlocks. It's a secret combination to unlocking the door to your subconscious. That's reframes. And you don't know which ones work, but some of them will and some of them won't, right? So every day we do a reframe. And I tell you guys, without question, every day you're going to be learning something. And honestly, if you guys are ready for the accountability piece, it's the beginning of 2026, right? Today's actually February 2nd, 2026. So the first month is officially gone. And so if you need actually some accountability and you've been stuck, I'm telling you right now, you've got to be in a peer advisory group. They're the most important thing that you can be a part of. Absolutely change your life. They're 12-week sessions. It's mastermind on steroids. Okay. If you're listening to this, they're free to you, and you don't have to be one of our clients to join either. Our belief is that things that help change your life should not be up behind a locked door, right? Should not. We believe that we should give things like this, not like this. Okay. And we want you to be a part of it. So reach out to us. You can basically, and so that's the peer advisor group. We open them up the first of every month. They're typically 6 to 8 peers like you, business owners, high capacity individuals. And the peer advisor group is going to give you really 3 things. Number 1, clarity, what you want to get done the next 12 weeks. 2, accountability, a group of peers helping you accomplish your goals. And number 3, which is the most important thing in my opinion, helping you minimize mistakes, especially the ones that cost you money, right? So we get to work a lot of this stuff out with a group, a team of your peers. It's amazing, right? But also, if you guys need small business accounting help, like bookkeeping, payroll, tax work, how does the OBBA laws affect me this year, right? All that stuff. You know what? Or let's just say you've got questions about stuff. I've had this business for years. I want to join, whatever it is. Not a big deal, man. None of this is a big deal. All I want you to do is you get 2 ways to hit us up. businessforbreakfastradio.com, right? Ask a question. I'll read it, reply back, or read it on there. Or 2, schedule some time with us directly at speakwithaaron.com. That's my personal scheduling website. That's speakwithaaron.com. That's aaron.com. Okay. And we'll talk about anything that you guys want to talk about, including how crappy the Cowboys are. Come on now. Can I get an amen? All right. All right. That wraps up another episode of Business for Breakfast. And I told you guys it would be the greatest one you've ever seen, right? I know. I'm not lying. Okay. Remember, guys, if you think it's hard or you think it's easy, you're right. Don't just work in your business. Make sure you mind your own business. All right, my people. You got the news. You've got the tips and tricks. Now go own this day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, and you know what time it is. What time is it, my people? It's time to get to work.